Good evening. We will start with quite a technical presentation before two more business cases. So I wanted to share with you how I managed to make the root part of the Talent ESB product communicate with the jobs part of the data integration. So the agenda will be very short because we are all tired already at the end of this day. So I will quickly introduce me and Odaxis. I will ask a bit about you and why you are here. I will give you a quick overview of Talent ESB, and then we will move to a demonstration of the product and how it works in practice, and we will finish with some tips and tricks and maybe a future announcement that can be done on this framework. So Odaxis is a company based in Braine-l'Alleud in Wallonia. We have more than 100 employees in Belgium, France, Luxembourg, and Tunisia. We are created in 2001. We have a revenue of 10 million, and we develop 5 different businesses that are linked together. So I am responsible of the data intelligence business, where we implement, I will say, 3 kinds of products. So talent product for all the part of what talent can provide, TIBCO product for the business intelligence and the business analysis product, so Spotfire and Jaspersoft. And we also do a partnership with Business Insight for his product called TIMI, which is a predictive analysis product. The second part is linked with custom business solutions. So we used to implement a lot Compierre, which is an open source ERP product, and Odoo. From that experience, we decided to use a cloud ERP, and we just signed an agreement with NetSuite about that. On the 4 business web technologies, we focus on Drupal and mainly on our biggest customer, which is the Rossel Group, so the group responsible for newspaper like Le Soir, that everybody should know in Belgium. And then we also do some advanced consulting and auditing on specific business issues. So that's a bit about me. So I would like now to you a bit about people here, because it's my first time in this meetup. So I would like that people raise their hands on every question, and I think that will allow us to prepare more focused presentation in the future. So how many subscription users do we have on the talent product here? Okay, so the rest is open source. That's right. And how many people use data integration? I guess everybody. In ESB product? Okay, fine. Data quality? Okay. And master data management? Okay. And big data? Okay. So one people for you. So to quickly summarize what is a bus, an enterprise service bus, this is a piece of software that in the runtime will allow communication between application, internal application and external application. And by application, we can have a classic database We can have a more advanced web services application. We can use all the plain text file, and we will mix this source of data to be able to make them communicate. In the ESB, this is a very quick summary. In the Talend ESB product, we really have two kinds of product. We have the services part, which will allow you to develop web service, SOAP web service, and import or create a WSDL file from the Talend Studio interface. And we will so be able to deploy these web services in a Carafe runtime, which is in fact which embed a Tomcat server, and so we deploy using the Apache CXF framework automatically web application to allow to other users to communicate with the Talend ESB. This is the services part. The mediation part is based on Camel. This is more an asynchronous way of communication between two parts. And we will talk here about routes, and we will deploy, we will build a route that is a Camel file that will deploy on a Carafe runtime for be able to use the route. So now when we go and we develop routes in the ESB perspective of Talend Studio, we are able to call the C Talend job. So for the people who don't know, the ESB part, the component always have a prefix of C, like Camel. In the data integration part, we have a T prefix. So the C Talend job is a component that we can introduce in a route to call the I job. This way of working will allow to use all the power of the data integration part to do complex work. The good way of using the C Talend job is to delegate the big complexity to a Talend integration job, and but the bad things would be to do everything inside this job. The problem is that if we do like that, we will have a Java application that may explode because of JDBC problem or XML parsing of very big documents. So you have to be very careful about using the C Talend job to not do too many things in it. So the good thing is always to delegate to external application what is heavy work, like database connection, XML parsing, etc. Another good things to do using this is that we will have the activity monitoring console, which is available on the integration part and which is not yet available on the routes part. And finally, if we decompose the business problem into sub-jobs, we will be able to reuse more efficiency, with more efficiency, some part of the business logic into different part of the application. Talend 6.1 will introduce the routelet property, which will be a solution to this reusability problem today in Talend ESB. like we have the droplet already available in the integration part. So this is the big picture with some French. Sorry about that. Still here, I will directly move to the demonstration part after explaining the big picture here. So on the left, we have the root perspective. This is where we define a route with the component. So we start from the left, and like the row generator that is available to the integration part, here a good way to simulate the starting of some messages is to use a timer that will start a new message every 5 seconds, for example, during 4, 5, or 10 different messages. So when we do some example, it's good to use it. In ESB, in the integration part, we have a flow of data, and this flow of data is rows, and every row have a type and a value. In the mediation, in the root part, we don't talk about flow, we talk about message, and a message is composed of 2 parts, the body, which is really the big part, and also headers. So in this example, I will manually add some headers here and set a simple body to the message, because the message here is empty, and I will send that to the DI job. The DI job will do the work and will return a result that I will show you in using the log component. So this job is here. You can double click it, and the main part is here in the middle. So we have to start with a special component that receives the input from a root, and then here I do nothing else that simply log the row to show that we receive the header and the different headers and the body that we send to the root. Of course, here you should implement your business logic, and that will work on the body of the message, and that will manipulate the body of the message. Then I use a simple tmap to be able to send back an output to the root. Okay, so let's try that. I installed for you the brand new version, which is the 6.1. Oh, we don't see it. It's the 6.1 Talend Open Studio for ESB, so it's the community part. And as you can see here at the top, instead of having only the integration, we have also a mediation perspective. So if I go into this mediation perspective, you will have something very similar to what we found on the job, the data integration part. And you will be able to develop a route. You have the palette, and you can simply drag and drop the components from the right to the left. This timer component will repeat 5 times and will wait 1 second before sending the next message. The set header component will set some headers because the initial message is empty. So I will simply put a string value on a header and header 2. And I will also set a header that, as we will see next, will not go into the job. So we simply define static headers. We also define a static body, and we call
the ctalent component. And everything really needs to be defined here. So when we will call the ctalent component, we will be able to browse or to create a new job from here, and Talend will recognize that it needs to show the job design part of the data integration perspective, and he will only show the job that have as first component a root input component, which will be able to accept message from the mediation part. So I use this job. I pass the body like this. So from the dollar and brackets, I take the body and I put it in a parameter that I called body. And I don't have to repeat all the headers because I have a settings that allows me to push all the headers from the message from the roots to the jobs. The only thing that is important here is that you need to define in the context all the headers that you want to pass automatically to the job, and of course also the body. Okay, and really this is the only things that needs to be done from here. When I double click it, I will automatically open the job that is linked, and this job is present like that. So I have a troot input component. On this troot input, I have to define the data that I will read from this input, and I will be able to log. So this data, will be read and will come to a schema that will be the schema of the DI job. In this schema, using this schema, I will be able to use the headers, but also the body, and to do some work on it. For this example, I just log the 3 input that I received, and that's it. Now, the next steps is to send back the data to the root, so the root can continue. And here I found that the one best practice is to disallow any exception on this DI job and return using the root output component a common message that will be based on a schema that will be always the same, and that will allow me in the root to handle in the same way any message that comes back from the job. So mainly I will have 3 different types of output from my root. I will have a normal output when everything is going fine. I will be able also to return some error message, application error message, where I was not able to handle the body of the message. And of course, I have to take care of a global exception that can occur. For example, if I connect to a database or I use a resource that is not available, I will use an assert catcher to map the exception to the output. The schema I defined here is very simple. It's a simple status, which will be 0 when everything is fine, and different of 0 when I have an error. Why an integer in status? Because on the root part, it's very easy to use a component that will do a case when on a header, and to take different road in the routing if my message could not be processed. And then I can give a detail of the error message in a second string component. Okay, so I can show you now when I will run this job. Oh, it's still running. When I will run this job, I will log only at the end after the job, and inside the job, I will log every row that I received. And I remember the log on the DI part have 3 columns, which is the 2 header and the body. Okay, so let's run it. So this is the first, the second. Okay, we have 5 messages that have been sent. If I took only the last part that start here, we can see that in the DI job I received the value that was set in these 2 parts, and on the log that's something I forgot to mention. In the log because the root output have a schema here, which is a status and error message, to summarize. Here on the C talent job, I also have the same output. So the schema here. Oh, sorry. The different column that I send back from the job to the root will arrive in different header. So I don't return the body because the body is still in the root. I just return the status here and the error message. That's why I am able to show the status and the error message here that was in fact set manually in the tmap here for the example. Okay, so that's it for the presentation. What time is it? Okay, I just want to finish. So I put that in the presentation. If you want, I can share you the presentation after the show. I put some print screen here to summarize how it is working. So some tips and tricks, global tips and tricks. It's always good to use context group when to define the parameters that when you need to communicate a route and a job, or even when you need to communicate 2 jobs together, because it allows you to use this context group inside the root part and inside the DI job automatically, and so the headers will move automatically. The next step, but it will be too much work to explain today. The next problem in this framework, or the problem that when you will use it daily, the problem is that the job here, because it takes its input from a troot input, cannot be run and cannot be tested in a separate way from the root. So a good practice is to decompose this job into 2 jobs, and so make a proxy using the root input, transform all the headers into a Java util map, so a key value table, and send this as a context to a tRun job. And in the tRun job, we'll do all the business logic. And then we are able to call this tRun job from a third job which will allow you to run different test cases more easily than always having to start a routing. Okay, and the error handling, I show you how to use generic schema to be able to, in the root output, to use a common messaging system back to the root. Okay, that's it. If you have some question, I don't know if we do the question now or
do it later.
Later with the pizza? Okay.
So
thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I hope you like this presentation. This presentation was held in the Brussels Data Science Community Meetup. If you want to know more of when these meetups are taking place, just check the link below. Bye-bye.